Hey everybody, I hope you guys are doing well. So I wanted to come to you guys today to talk a little bit about Miss JT from the City Girls and how the folks are dragging her, or they were dragging her for the last couple of days online because of some old tweets that resurfaced. Now, I remember, and it's crazy to even be just to say this, but I remember there was a time when celebrities and entertainers and athletes and people of that ilk were inaccessible, right? You would see them in a magazine, you would see them on TV, right? They would give a statement, they would do an interview, and that was kind of the gist of it. You might see them on MTV Cribs or something like that, more controlled environments, right? Ever since the age of social media, where celebrities, entertainers, athletes are able to connect with regular folk and get on here and say whatever and communicate with people, talk back and forth to people. It's been kind of crazy, right? And I think that it can certainly be a double-edged sword, because there's some celebrities that rarely get online. You don't hear nothing from them. They still live the same way they have always lived. Very elusive, very private. They jump on, they say something, maybe like, hey, go vote, and then they get off, right? Then there are people that say a whole lot more. And those are the ones that are usually causing most of the controversy, because they get on there, even if it's technically nothing major that they say, right? Somebody's going to take it the wrong way and whatnot. But then you have a JT. Okay, now JT is the one on the left. She is, part of the duo, the City Girls, hailing out of Miami. And for the last 2 years or so, they have blown up. Now, JT had to do a bid not too long ago. She, I guess she'd been out for a few months, right? I guess about almost a year. I don't remember. But anyway, she was one of them scammers. She was scamming. And she had to go to jail for a minute. She had to go sit down. When she came out, she got her boobs done. She, looked like she got her lips done. She just looks different. She looks completely different than what she used to look like. But nonetheless, she been on the road. I would say that she is the arrogant one of the two. Like or I should say, she's the more outspoken, more vocal of the two girls, right? But nonetheless, they are part of the generation that gets online and they say whatever they're thinking. So JT usually gets into it with people online. She is, again, one of those celebrities that will talk back and forth to folks. Okay, people come at her, people say something, she'll come right back at, right? In all fairness, people do be saying crazy shit online, right? And some of these celebrities, they're pretty sensitive and they don't ignore it. They go right back at them, right? But before JT called herself getting famous, because they've only been popping for maybe the last 2, possibly 3 years, but I would say 2 years definitely. JT was wilding out on Twitter, and she was saying a lot of crazy shit that got pulled up. Now, most recently, what caused all of this and caused people to pull her tweets, which I still don't get why people don't scrub their Twitters. I don't understand why celebrities don't do that, but that's a whole nother conversation. It really is. You could literally have somebody do that as a job. Go and scrub my Twitter, right? Whether you're an athlete, whether you entertainer, whatever you are, have somebody go scrub your Twitter, because there is somebody out here in this world that's going to go and literally find tweets. And that is what people did, which is why JT is getting dragged, and rightfully so, after reading these tweets. So it kind of all started when JT, a tweet of JT's resurfaced about her skin color. Now, these are very beautiful girls nonetheless. Even before they altered themselves, they definitely look different, and you'll see that in a minute. But somebody found an old tweet of JT's basically downing other dark-skinned women. And what's interesting about that is because JT has herself talked about how people used to make fun of her skin tone and call her crunchy and stuff like that. Men used to call her crunchy. So it's interesting that she would inflict that on any other woman, because women were out here basically defending her when they saw that JT said that she had been basically teased for her own skin tone. So when the tweet surfaced, or resurfaced, I should say, people were taken aback and they were rightfully offended by her words. All right. So I'm about to show you a whole lot of tweets, guys, that are just insane. But let's start with the one that kind of set it off. Okay. She said, I love pretty dark skinned girls, not too crispy now, but the Milky Ways be the shit. Now, if you look at the date here, it says 1/28/18. That's almost 3 years ago. But nonetheless, the girls were definitely out and they definitely had music out. Okay. Now, when that tweet surfaced, she tried to clean it up and apologize for it. I wouldn't call it an apology at all, but her way of apologizing was like, oop, my bad. And when people got at her ass, she was like, oh, that was a long time ago. But the problem is that JT just celebrated her 26th birthday, which means she was roughly, 25, 26. So she was grown. So it ain't no, oop, my bad. She was grown and she absolutely understood. She was inflicting that pain on other dark-skinned girls. So she said some bullshit, right? She said some bullshit. And then when she started to try to, basically not defend herself, but to double down on what she said. Like, yeah, and so somebody got it into their brains to like, you know what? Let's go ahead and see what Miss JT has said about other things and other people. And when I tell you, JT got some wild ass tweets out here to the point where I was like, I don't necessarily agree with cancel culture, but are they canceling this young lady? Because she didn't say some crazy shit out here. Some crazy shit. And I'm about to go into some of these tweets. Now, I didn't get them all because there's a lot of them. It's a lot of them. I mean, she talks about everybody. There's a whole lot of goddamn tweets. Now, here's JT and Carisha just a couple years back. Look how different they look. So for JT to even sit here and talk about, well, I don't like that kind of dark, it's just kind of crazy to me because they look very, very different. You know, I ain't accusing nobody of color, bleaching themselves, but I'm just saying they look very different. Here is her tweets, and it just gets worse from here. Meek Mill was dead ugly with them braids. Trash doll shaped like a substitute teacher. Ho, go find a seat in the nearest dairy aisle. She talking about Cash Doll, y'all, if you don't know who Trash Doll is. Okay, but it get worse. It get really, really bad after that, okay? So let's get into some more. This little Chinese boy just stepped on my feet. I damn near kicked an egg roll out his ass. Wow. Okay. Whoa. And they get, like I said, she was wilding. She was absolutely wilding online. Now, she called Rihanna a mess. She looked at that. I mean, some of them, I ain't going to sit here and say that I completely disagree, but some of this shit is just wild and racist and all kinds of just crazy shit she said out her mouth. She said, Erykah Badu, bald head, Roxy, miserable ass, always minding everybody, but here on, I want to be down, Brandy ass bitch. I don't even understand what that, but if you see, that's back in 2011, right? So for some of this, I could honestly now hear she's being homophobic. She calling folks, I had to block it out, but she using a homophobic slur against folks. And you see, this wasn't that long ago. This was again back in 2018. She was about 25. She just turned 28. So I'm giving her the benefit, like 26. I think she was about 25, right? So that in itself, for me, means that she was old enough to know better. Right here, she says, did Bobby Christina ever die? So seriously, like who would say stuff like that? That is insane. Now, this was in 2015. Again, this is before she was known. Watching a movie called Tears of the Sun, these oily black bees got me mad. Okay, 2012, she was still, okay, that's about 8 years ago, right? That was about 8 years ago. So that would make her 20. Okay. Moment of silence for all the victims of 9/11. Again, she was still young. I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt on some of these because a lot of these, she was still technically young and stupid. But some of this early, it was still hateful. Nonetheless, it was still hateful. But some of this stuff would have got her canceled. I swear I hate ends. I should be a fucking Nazi. Now, you know, if a white person said that, and they said if a white person had said that, you know that would be an issue, and it should be an issue. He can give me AIDS, and that's on Magic Johnson. Who says that? This is in 2017. Again, I'm giving her a pass on some of the early shit, but she was a full-grown woman. She was a full-grown woman on a lot of these tweets. I wish R. Kelly was here with me right now. I know he would get me right. 2017, y'all. 2017. That's not that long ago. She, again, JT just turned 28. That means she was in her mid-20s when she said it. When he tell you, bring back proof of an abortion. 2015. 5 years ago. 5 years ago. That would make her roughly, what, 23? Okay, I'm just saying. F working for these, well, you know, some of the, I get it. But nonetheless, again, we have to remember that a lot of this stuff, while she wasn't famous for a lot of these early tweets, you know that if it was somebody else, they would get in trouble for it. Dirk baby mama looked like swine, you know, and then she keeps going. Like I said, she wilding on these goddamn tweets, y'all. She said a lot of crazy stuff. At the end of the day, Future got 1,000 kids to worry about. Fuck Russell and that punk ass hoe. I'm assuming the punk ass hoe is Sierra. She say a lot of crazy stuff about celebrities. Again, just y'all don't know Aaliyah personally. Get the F off my timeline acting like y'all sad for real. Don't even mourn y'all about y'all dead grandmammies like that. Okay? So that I don't know where that the context of that, but nonetheless, Bobby Brown cokehead ass bet not have sacrificed Whitney. Woo! Shit. This girl. Listen, I'm not laughing at the hatefulness of some of this stuff, but it is just, I'm laughing at the fact that it's just so goddamn wild. She said, now this one is disturbing. I want to get R by R. Kelly. Okay? And then she's basically, listen, this is in 2017. That's not long ago. Now, Reginae, child, Reginae has me blocked on here from a long time ago. I didn't give that fat, corny hoe a break. 2016, 4 years ago. 4 years ago. It's real sad how I'm beefing with Aaliyah. R.I.P. though. Whew, listen. Are y'all done or are y'all finished? Because I could go on and I can keep going on about some of these tweets, but I just tried to pull as many as I can. Now, this is her homeboy Santana. Just seen Santana big old ass get ran train on, yapping all the way from the basement, playing with all the DL trade in Florida, booty hole, a petri dish of, oh. Woo! Chlamydia and Cheetos. Woo! Okay, JT. All right. I ain't reading nothing. Woo, child. Okay, y'all already saw the Bobby Christina one. I was just pulling the tweets together because I was just like, I cannot believe she's saying all that, right? She said some hateful shit about everybody. I ain't pull up all of them. Okay, I ain't pull up all of them. She said some stuff about Nikki. Carisha, you remember Carisha got in trouble a couple years ago from some of her homophobic tweets, and the fact that they pulled up all her tweets about, y'all already saw these, pulled up all her tweets about Blue Ivy, calling Blue Ivy ugly, and saying that North looked better than Blue Ivy. And I'm just thinking to myself, maybe these girls didn't think that they was gonna go any further than where they went. But I am curious now, because now that they are in the industry and now these tweets are out, I wonder how awkward it's going to be now that they've talked about these people, and now they probably looking and smiling and cheesing all up in their face. Here's her talking about Ari and her and Dej Loaf, and they went after the Haitians too. Now, some of their Haitian tweets actually came out a couple years ago, because again, they did get a lot of slack for saying, derogatory things against Haitians. That don't make it any better, the fact that they already been called out about it. But some people are just discovering this. A lot. They live in Miami, a huge Haitian population. I'm sure they have a lot of fans down there. And I'm just like, my gosh, why would you say all of this? Why would y'all say all these things? Now, I can't tell which tweet she was actually apologizing for, but she said, I was barely on Twitter last night. A fan sent the tweet and removed it. Sorry if I offended anyone. I probably was arguing with somebody back then or some dumb shit. I don't hate y'all or myself. I just be talking shit. Now, I don't know what she was technically, but then what happened is that she said all my old tweets in that purse. So after people pulled all her tweets, she decided she was going to make a brand new Twitter, right? She said, it's my new Twitter, who I'm going to talk about on here. So you can see she's not even remorseful about the fact that all her tweets got pulled up and she was out here wilding. Because the truth of the matter is, why should she? A lot of people were laughing at it. All right. Then when people was upset with her, she decided to double down once again and say, hey, if y'all upset, beat my ass. So she didn't technically apologize. Remember when Kevin Hart old tweets resurfaced and came out and he had to do this whole apology tour? Now they in different tiers, right? He is a world celebrity as far as the white people know who he is. She is one of those people that just black folk know who she is. Like, she kind of more, she's not on his level, but nonetheless, he had to do an apology tour. And people on Twitter was laughing at what she said. It's like, y'all just offended. Y'all just so sensitive. Get over it. Get over it. Get over it. And I'm just like, is that how it really work? Now, Santana, the same one she said got ran a train on, he came on here to defend her. He said, before we became famous, we used to sit at home looking effed up. Priorities ain't together, talking big shit on Twitter about everybody. The same shit y'all regular bitches do now. Why y'all be so surprised? I'm going to start calling y'all jobs and getting y'all canceled. Okay? And respectfully, I'm going to still talk about me a bitch with my friends. I just don't do it on the internet. I have a platform. You got to put respect on people's name now. I don't comment under blogs, laugh or like, post about people. However, I am finna call my homegirls. So where he effed up on this, although he got a point, because it is be regular people do be talking shit online. Where he effed up with me is that he talking about before we became famous. And I think that's the problem with a lot of these pseudo celebrities as it is now. Y'all popular. Y'all not famous. Famous is, famous is a Beyonce, or like you are a household, like you can look at that person's face and everybody know who you are. Santana is one of those internet famous type people where his fame don't extend past the people that know him from social media, right? He can't, a lot of these folks don't know who he is, right? The United States of America don't know who he is, and that's the problem. Popularity does not equal celebrity. And now a lot of them talking big shit, and they saying like before we became famous. No, before y'all got popular. Y'all famous, y'all are local famous, which means y'all famous on the internet. Yes, people know who you are. But does he have a point? Right? Because before people get famous, they talk a lot of shit. They say a lot of stuff. But then there's an opinion, right? We have opinions about all kinds of shit. I get on social media, on Twitter all the time and talk about the Real Housewives episode that I'm watching and stuff like that. But there's having an opinion and being mean-spirited and hateful. Her tweets are mean-spirited and hateful. She literally went after people, their looks. And she said stuff not too long ago. Okay, we're talking 2017 where she said the stuff about R. Kelly. 2017. We're talking 2018 when she said the stuff, basically being a colorist. And people are acting like this was back when she was 15 to 16 years old. Those are the kind of tweets that I can sit here and say, you know what, she was young and she was stupid. Because a lot of these young folks get on these social medias and they don't think that there are any like consequences to get out here and saying any old thing you want. But JT 2 years ago had roughly turned 26 years old when she said the stuff about, well, I like dark skin, but not too dark, not the crunchy, not the milk, not the crunchy girls. Okay, Miss Crispy. Okay, oh, Miss Crispy. That was 2 years ago. So you don't get a pass for saying something trash ass 2 years ago when you was even in the industry. She was in the industry 2 years ago. She don't get a pass for that. She don't. But the truth of the matter is, ain't nobody gonna cancel her. And let me explain why ain't nobody gonna cancel her. If y'all won't cancel that other woman over there that didn't wished AIDS on a black man's mama and has called somebody's dead child a monkey, y'all ain't gonna cancel her either. Matter of fact, last night after all the hubbub about her tweets surfaced, she put out some record with another woman off of her label. And all was forgiven. Everybody's like, oh, this is fire. This is good. This is good. All was forgotten. And that's why we can't do shit now. Because people don't hold folks accountable for the bullshit that they say. Or let me put it like this. People pick and choose. As I've stated before. People pick and choose who they like and who they don't like. And if they like her, she gets a pass and all is forgiven. And all the trash ass shit she has said about colorism, about calling Reginae a hoe and all this other stuff. It's all forgiven. I am curious as to how those celebrities are they going to forgive her? Are they going to look at her kind of strange? Because I'm just curious if she said some bullshit about me like that. And to call Sierra, who won't do nothing to nobody, a punk ass hoe. And like I said, I'm sure she thought at the time when she was saying all these things, like, I'm just talking. Who would have known that she would turn out to be JT of the City Girls? And now, in somebody, in their spare time or no time, decided to get on the internet and pull up all your old tweets, girl. Okay, Miss Crispy. And she's a beautiful girl, whether she had enhanced herself or not. She was a beautiful girl. So it is sad to see a dark-skinned woman call herself putting down a dark-skinned woman because she's darker than her. Okay, that's sad, but we know it happens. We know that happens, right? But nonetheless, those tweets were very, very hateful. They were very hateful, and but ain't nobody gonna do nothing about it. Like I said, I just looked like, God damn, this girl, she just mean spirited. She hit everybody. But it was just mean spirited, and I just find it disgusting that she wasn't even like sorry about it, right? It's like I said what I said, because she understands how this shit works. People will be upset for a minute and they're going about their business, right? And people will still support this foolishness and this trash ass behavior because everybody can be a celebrity now, right? You get a couple of songs, you're a celebrity now. So that's just the way the world works, and it's unfortunate, but that was crazy. But all these celebrities, all of them, just delete your Twitters. Get rid of all that shit that you said, because she ain't the only one. Yesterday they was pulling up tweets from everybody. Yesterday they was pulling up so many tweets from folk. All right, Patrick Mahomes, the golden child of the NFL right now, the Kansas City Chiefs. He said some trash shit when he was like in middle school and stuff like that. But he didn't get, again, they looked at it. They was like, oh, wow, okay. And then they moved on. So I don't know. I guess it just depends on who you are, if you should be canceled or not. But I don't know. I just wanted to show y'all all these tweets and what y'all think about all of this, because this is a mess to me. That girl was on a roll. All right. She didn't spare nobody. But at the end of the day, it's hateful. Those were hateful. Those weren't opinions. That was mean-spirited, hateful stuff that she put out there. And she don't get a pass for some of that stuff because she was grown. Okay? Some of it was being childish because she was young, but some of it, she was full grown when she said that stuff about R. Kelly. But I don't know. I just wanted to point that out to y'all and show y'all. And let me know what you think about all of this. Here's my information. Follow me on Twitter.